Hey, HappiDaze here. In today's video, we are doing TM versus Garp here. So let's get right into the teams that we are using. This is the full batch walkthrough. So obviously, we're using the new Lafitte, we're using Kuzan, we're using trecru. Just a lot of cool units out here. So let's go ahead and kind of quickly get into the invasion fight. We'll show you that first, and then we'll get into the final battle versus Kobe there. Typically, when I am doing these treasure map, I do like to follow the right path. I just seem to have better luck in terms of the spots jumping when I follow the right-hand path side. Plus, there's a good amount of point boosters on this side too, so that's kind of why we're going down the right-hand side for this content. Here we go. We are fighting Garp for the first battle here. This is the team that we are using. So you can see the only support that we have on here is the Usopp support on the .Q, and that's just so that we can auto plus these stages, make it a little bit better to kind of get through the content. But outside of this, if you don't have the Garp, you could completely replace him with someone else, just on the highest point boosters on there. So let's go ahead and get into the content. I am using the Whale Shark ship just because the anniversary ship isn't really boosted anymore. So yeah, this is kind of what the team looks like here. So let's just talk about what kind of happens on all these different stages. Stage 1, you get, basically your CT reduction if you're a quick, psi, or int unit. So, obviously the final boss being a strength unit, you want to make sure that you have kind of a team that has a lot of blue units, so you get the advantage. Of course, sometimes I've seen float around, if you don't have the full batch, use Luffy as the captain, right? His ability, the new Elbaf Luffy, because his ability to do the paralysis and stuff is pretty good. But yeah, you want to have type advantage when you can. On stage 2, we get 6 turns of paralysis. We get some poison orbs, which is not fun. We also get a 7-turn special bind as well. Get that taken care of through our units that we have here. And again, the auto plus has the Usopp on here, just like the Doc. You can use a special to get rid of those paralysis and poison orbs, and then just simple tapping to get through the stage. Nothing kind of too complicated really there. Stage 3 is where it's a little bit of a pain, just because there's a burn debuff that happens where if you get rid of the full 10 turns of burn that you get on the stage, then you get a bunch of bind to your top right, and it's just not fun. Some bind, despair, slot bind, just a lot of just generally bad debuffs there. So you want to avoid getting fully rid of the burn there. But like I said, as long as you can kill the opponents in one shot, it's not a big deal, because if you can kill them in that one shot, you don't take that burn damage anyway. So yeah, you just want to basically make sure that you're able to, keep that burn on, so you don't get those nasty debuffs to your crew there. So basically at this point, everyone else uses their special, boom, one-hit tap, and pretty easily we get through that. We did have block orbs there that could then help change. Of course, we had the blindness as well that we got rid of. The recovery down is not really that big of an issue because there's no death hit or anything like that in this stage, so it wasn't really too bad. So you can see we plowed through Garp pretty quickly. No real issues there. We would not expect if you have the full batch. So it made it pretty simple to get through there. So what I'm going to do here, and this is kind of a strategy I like to do, typically if I can, I want to increase my nav levels as quick as I can, so that way I'm getting the best bang for my buck in terms of points, especially if we have the full batch. So if I would have went all the way to the right, yes, I could have technically have gotten 2 of the mini bosses taken care of, but going this way, I can get my level up a little bit faster, which means get my level up a little bit faster while getting the stamina back, right? Because of the ability to go ahead and get that bento box there, thanks to the cards that we had. So if I didn't have the cards to get that bento box, I wouldn't have risked it. Would have went all the way to the right. But being able to get almost a full stamina refresh, like you saw right there, is absolutely perfect and able to help us make sure we're kind of getting our nav level up as quick as we can. And that's really the key, right? If you're really grinding for kind of top rank, you want to get that nav level up as quick as possible, defeat the boss as quick as possible. And then once you get your nav level up super high, like in the hundreds, then you can start, worrying about the mini bosses and things like that, when you can start really getting a ton of points for wasting that stamina to get those mini bosses. So again, similar team to what we saw on the previous battle here. The only difference is there is a bind on the second stage where you end up having bind on your top left, middle right, bottom left. So you want to make sure that whatever your bind remover is, in this case ours is Lafitte, ours is trecru, that bind remover is in the middle left. That way he doesn't get bound, and you can pretty easily get around that without too much difficulty there. That's in stage 3. In stage 2, you do have to deal a little bit with some chain gimmicks there. So obviously with the special ability of the Lafitte, we can get rid of those chain down debuffs. And then as long as you have above 2.5, pretty easy to kill the enemy. So we have the Lafitte special help on that stage 2. So we put the Usopp on the Lafitte. That way he could do the auto plus. We don't have to really worry about it. Again, what happens is for this stage, you're really getting a cooldown reduction for strikers, free spirit driven. So you want to make sure that you are building teams that are based around those 3 classes, that we can get kind of the most special rewound and versus effect things, swap gauges all taken care of. For the stage 2, you do get some slots to badly matching, but again, we can help take care of that with the special that we have there of the Lafitte. And actually, it takes care of the chain stuff, and then it's just auto kill from that point forward. Stage 3, we do get 10 turns of special bind, 6 turns of threshold. You get some paralysis orbs too, or can get some paralysis orbs, block orbs, and then there's also another chain attack down. So we want to have double Lafitte here, so you can use one on stage 2, another on stage 3 to get rid of that attack down, and then as I mentioned, you have the bind on the top left, middle right, and bottom left. The Docu special here will help get rid of that, and then basically at that point, you're tapping, you're off to the races, and you're good to go. Like I said, pretty quick to get through this content. Luckily, the gimmicks on this TM aren't really that bad compared to some TMs where there are only a few units who can do what you need them to do to get through the content. This TM is actually pretty forgiving in terms of what units you have. If you don't have the full boosted batch, again, there's a lot of teams that you can check out there. From Omai has some videos out there. I think Stump has some videos out there. Blasio usually has some videos out there. Totsuki probably has some videos out there. So I don't have a team right now that has that. Maybe in the upcoming day or so I'll create one. But I've seen a lot of people are using the Elbaf Luffy Captain combined with some other units like Garp and Kuzan and Shiru to get this content with relative ease, right? Luckily, the paralysis, the block, poison are all pretty common debuffs, so it's not that hard to kind of get through those. So that's going to wrap up this video today. If you have the full batch, hopefully you saw what we could use so you can quickly auto it. You can see we got the whole stage in probably a mere 5 minutes. So it's pretty easy to probably rank pretty high up if you have the full batch there. Let me know how your pulls went for this for this TM. I would love to hear from you guys if you did pull. Again, we have a Super Sugo probably coming at the end of the month, so just make sure you are saving for that. Would definitely not recommend wasting a lot of gems on here, especially because it's an easier TM in terms of the gimmicks that are there. So save your gems. Super Sugo is where you're gonna want to spend them. Hopefully it's a super cracked unit, which it probably will be. So until next time, as always, be kind to each other. Thanks.